I'll start the recording straight away. So, thanks very much, Mark, for joining me on this Friday evening. I've been looking forward to this.
You're welcome, so far. If I can get this set up right.
So, nice to see you. Yes, get all set up.
I'll try and swing it around so it's not flashing in the window behind us.
Grand. Make yourself comfortable.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
You were off today, is that right?
Yes. Start of the week's holiday as well.
Grand. It's the end of my 2-week holiday.
All right.
We're like passing ships.
Trouble is, though, it's not like a holiday at the moment, is it? Because obviously you don't go nowhere, you cannot see nobody, but it's just nice to just chill out in the house, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, we tried to make the most of what we're allowed to do in the past few days. Much to, like, my mates and all were like, no, you really shouldn't be going out to have lunch and stuff, but we just did anyway. It was the end of the 2-week holiday, and we thought it's going to go back into proper lockdown now, so let's just take advantage and take a risk.
I think we're a bit annoyed because we were hoping to get up to Newcastle next week, obviously after the lockdown, but obviously the northeast is still going to be in a tier 3, so that still means no pubs and etc. I think you can still go into restaurants to have food and things like that, but that's basically blown our holiday plans out of the water. So, but never mind.
You have to be having substantial.
Gives us more reason to stay at home and get pissed, I suppose. So what the hell?
Is that a porter?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't exactly talk to somebody from Ireland and not drink Guinness. So it would be rude, wouldn't it?
No, my drinking days are long gone. That's just I drank too. I couldn't keep it at 1 or 2. So
I know. I'm not as bad as I used to be in my youth.
Yeah. Are you smoking this evening, good sir?
Yes, I am going to have a Christoph cigar.
Oh,
I just had a pipe earlier. I had a bowl of Robusto.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have this tonight.
Very well. So, I'm trying the Solani aged barley flake for the first time. So I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't had it before, and I really like barley. So here goes nothing.
Nice.
It's still a bit wet, I think. It was a bit spongy when I popped it in, but we'll see. Is that a half Corona then, or a wee Robusto, did you say? Or
I think it's just a little Robusto, this one.
Nice.
I had another one in the series, which was quite nice. So I'm quite looking forward to trying this one. It's been sitting in the humidor for a few months. And I keep sort of singing to us, but I keep thinking, no, I'm going to keep it for a special occasion sort of thing. So
why not?
Rather than just wasting it on a Sunday afternoon type thing.
Have you heard of I think it's Cigars, the website that has the monthly subscription. Is it 50 or 60 pounds a month? And did you do that? Or I have a couple of friends.
No, I was toying with the idea. I kept thinking, shall I, shan't I? Because I thought, well, if I was doing sort of a weekly, like Sunday cigar type review, I thought, well, it would be nice because obviously I'm getting a month's supply and I could just do one every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the prices of cigars in this country is just ridiculous. You order, I can get sort of like 25 cigars for about $50. And I just kind of justify the prices in this country. I was quite surprised the last time I ordered some Nub cigars. You're looking at sort of £18 in this country. I can get them over in the States for like less than $10.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same obviously with pipe tobacco, isn't it? It's always like
really.
You see why we're drawn to across the water for these supplies and everything.
Yeah. There was talk of all this last night on Professor Jeremiah had a all-day Zoom meeting with the Thanksgiving. We were talking about what do you call him? Hermit Piper Tim was on,
Yeah.
talking about basically how the government are going to create they aren't creating it, but they're causing a black market in tobacco. It's going to happen if the prices keep going. It's going to be 20 quid for 50 grams soon. It's disgraceful the way it's going. But
I mean, in the 2 years that I've been smoking a pipe sort of religiously, I mean, the price has just gone crazy. I mean, I got quite a shock a few months ago when I noticed, I mean, some had gone up as much as nearly £2.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, they're clearly cashing in onto the internet market because they know obviously people aren't coming into the shops. So they're ordering more on the internet. So, right, okay, let's stick another couple of pounds on a tin. And it's just really annoying.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, when they do tricks like that, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I haven't ordered from Cigars for quite a while. I've only ordered recently because I'm getting a new cutter and lighter for Christmas, so I had a good deal on, so I ordered one.
Okay, yeah.
They did.
Are you getting it?
Other than that,
oh, sorry, go on. Sorry.
Other than that, I've been using the Black Swan shop.
Yes, it's great, and I like GQ tobaccos. Apparently, it's a small family-run operation as well, although it's massive. The site's huge.
Yeah, I've never ordered from them yet.
GQ tobaccos, check it out. They have Peterson's systems for $49.99, and the Dairy Rustica range is all less than 50. Well, maybe just over £51 or something. I haven't seen Peter. That's the cheapest for Peterson anyway that I've seen.
Well, Uncle Phil sent us the link the other day, and he said that they had them down in price. I was quite lucky last year, and there was a little tobacconist in Newcastle in Granger Market, and they were selling the Peterson pipes for £49. So I managed to pick up a Dracula.
Dracula for 49? Yeah.
I got a Dracula for £49. I was really annoyed because when I looked in the window, they had the 69 shape. Well, that's my birth year, so I thought, great, I'm going to get that. But I had to pay cash, so I walked out to the cash point, walked back in, and somebody had come along, seen it, and bought it. So I was really gutted. But luckily, I got the Bent Bulldog. I think it's the 999 shape, so I was made up still. So I was quite lucky. And the crazy thing is, I went to the local tobacconist that I normally go to in Newcastle, and they had the exact same pipe for just under £100. So I was like sort of chuckling away to myself, sort of thing. So.
Well, I know in my brick and mortar it's $79.99, I think, for the Dracula, and that's come down a bit. They were like $89, I think, about 6 months ago.
I just wish we could get the rusticated ones.
Yeah, they look better. Yeah.
We just get like the plain lacquered finish.
Yeah.
And again, I was always wary of ordering them online because I know Vlad, I think it's Vlad, the inhaler, he's got tons of Peterson pipes. I mean, he's got a huge range of Draculas. But the downside is when you order them online, when you get them, the stems sometimes they don't have that really nice black pattern in them.
Yeah. It just
like hit
luck of the draw. Yeah. No, lovely pipes. Not so fussed with Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes I look at them and think, yeah, that's novel, but I think you would get sick of it. Yeah, one or the other.
I wouldn't mind a Sherlock Holmes one.
Yes, lovely shape, and it suits the
habit. But the trouble is, the miser in it is won't let us spend over £100 on a pipe, so I keep like, shall I?
Okay. Well, I saw one that would just be in your price range on GQ tobaccos. I have my eye on it. The other good thing about GQ is the picture of the pipe is the pipe you get. So there's no, hoping for, I hope we get a good stem. It is the one you get. And I can say that that's true. I've bought a few of them. And then what was I saying? Yes, there's an Eric Nording. It's kind of in their Royal Flush series. They call it the Queen. It goes what was it, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, then Joker for the highest of their briar. It's meant to be amazing all the way down to Jack, but this is a Queen. That's 99 or whatever, but it's a beautiful horn shape. And with have you ever seen the Eric Nordings that they rusticate half the pipe, and then the end of the rustication is made to look like dripping paint or something? It's
Yeah.
like a liquid pattern. Yeah, it's like that, like a horn, and that beautiful rustication. It's a 9mm filter. Like you don't have to use one. So
I know Karen's sort of been saying, what do you want for Christmas? What do you know? I keep thinking, well, do I really want another pipe or not, sort of thing. And I think at the moment there's sort of nothing that's really made us go wow and want to actually go out and get it. I've sort of been able to get the ones that I've been after over the last couple of years anyway. So I just think, well, it's just probably going to be another one that's stuck in there.
Do you check out estate pipes on eBay?
When I first started sort of dabbling with pipes about 15 years ago, I did get quite a few off eBay. I did have a few pipe racks as well, but sadly with sort of having to move around a lot, I wasn't bothering with the pipe as much as when I first started out, that I ended up just throwing them away and not bothering with them, sort of thing. And so whereas now I sort of think to myself, well, I'd rather just go out and get it brand new rather than getting it and running the risk of eBay, because I don't think eBay is as cheap now as what it used to be. So I think they're really cutting on now, like the price of, because they know that an average pipe in the shop is, you're looking at a few £100 for a decent one. You know what these things are worth now. So even if it's sort of granddad's old pipe and I'm just selling it on, they're savvy now to what these things are going for. So again, you might as well just put the extra to it and buy yourself brand new.
Yeah, there are still a good few dedicated estate pipe sellers on eBay who like have really good feedback, and they would usually £25 to £30 just for your standard kind of hard castles and things like that. And people are getting more savvy and know that people are going to pay more for these things. The reserves are quite high compared to what they used to be. But
even like pipe. Sorry.
No, go on.
Like I say, even like pipe racks, you're looking at, it's just absolutely extortionate prices now. I think Pipe Tree's got the best idea of going around to car boot sales, and I think that's where you're going to pick up your bargains now.
Yeah, he was there yesterday on that. Where were you, sir? Did you hear about it? I only heard last minute. The Jeremiah professor.
I saw it on. I caught a little bit of it, but no, I didn't. I don't really get. By the time I get home on a night and I get myself sorted out and everything, and it's usually pretty late. By the time I get sorted out and come through here for a pipe, it's usually about 8 o'clock. So by the time I come in here, and I'm lucky to catch them now. So, I'm not as frequent on YouTube as I used to be, unfortunately.
Right. No, Pipe Tree was on. That's the first time I got talking to him properly. He's a good lad. So are you from Newcastle then?
No, I'm from just outside of Durham, which is about 18 miles south of Newcastle. I'm sort of halfway between Newcastle and Darlington. Okay.
No, I enjoyed your channel for quite a while. I watched your videos, not whenever you started making them, but not long after. And I was watching yourself and Mutton Chop Piper and your process of your first year of piping. You had a couple of videos just on what you thought of it, and you're fairly earnest and came across that way as well, which that's why you stood out to me as well, with the likes of yourself and that attitude of it and you're not you're nice and earnest and it comes across well. So yeah, great channel. And what was I gonna say? Yes, I just wanted to ask you a couple of silly questions. If you had to only smoke one pipe out of your selection for the rest of your career, what would it be?
Well, I don't even have to pause for effect.
Okay.
It would be the Black Bulldog that I bought, the Great British Design that I got from Amazon. Yeah.
Right.
It cost us like £23, and it is absolute champion smoker.
Okay.
Best pipe I've got.
Is that your favorite family, the Bulldog family, the shape?
Well, the first one, I used to always go for sort of like the chin hangers, because that was sort of like the first one that I got, and I sort of like that feel. And I used to always have a beard, so I like to keep it sort of out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd sort of bought a Falcon pipe to try it out and see what I thought about it. And really, originally, it was just I bought the Falcon because the plan was to go and do London videos. So I thought, well, it's just a cheap pipe. If I lose it, then there's no hardship.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be looking on Amazon one day, and I saw this Black Bulldog, £23. I thought, well, yeah, I'll give it a go, see what the shape's like. And I think probably like the Bed Bulldog Rhodesian shape is definitely up there as one of my favourites.
Yeah, they've really grown on me, that whole family. I really didn't like Rhodesians and Bulldogs at the start of my piping obsession, but really grown on me. Especially a Meerschaum Bulldog. There's something about a Meerschaum Rhodesian, big tall one. It's lovely looking.
That is what I want next. I did see a really nice one. I went to the Cuban Cigar Club in Newcastle in March.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, the week before we had the first lockdown.
Mm.
And there was a couple of other things I wanted when I went in, and it stopped us from actually buying it. And
right.
I just thought to myself, oh, I'll get it next time. I'll probably be in a couple of weeks' time.
God.
And then lo and behold, lockdown, and that's
ruined everything.
Yeah, I keep looking at is it the Barici? I keep looking at his and thinking I'm going to have to invest and get a really nice one.
Yeah, there's another guy on Facebook. He operates off of Facebook only. I forget his name, but I will forward you his details as well. Barici is good, and he will take orders. Like, you can have a custom made. Yeah, whatever you want, silver spigot, whatever color stem you want, whatever shape you want, he'll carve it for you. Yeah, and he's great. I can't complain at all. He's very good with his back and forth with you. It was really dead on. So yeah, but I'll send you this other guy as well, the Facebook guy.
Yeah,
he's good. Yeah, I've got that one. I've got Barici's one there. I'm really happy with it. Although it's meant to be a medium, and it's quite small. But yeah, I mean, Meerschaum these days, like, they don't sell them large unless you really ask for them, you know.
I think that's what puts me off them as well, because I have had a couple. Again, when I first started years ago, I bought a nice sort of bent apple, if you like. I think again it was off either eBay or Amazon. And absolutely loved it. But the downside is that the same thing happened with that as what's happened with the Lee Van Cleef. The actual collar, where it fits in, when the stem fits into it, it's sort of come away and loosened off.
Yeah.
And it's happened with the Lee Van Cleef. Luckily, I can still sort of squeeze it in there, so I'm trying not to actually take it apart when I clean it now. So it's gone back to being sort of like a very once in a while pipe now, rather than sort of quite regularly.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I find disappointing with them.
Right. Is it the Meerschaum that's damaged then? And there's no way, it's not the insert, it's the Meerschaum?
It's the actual, I think because it's got like the white bit that screws in, and then you've got the actual stem that just shoves into that. I think it's just the threading inside the Meerschaums just come loose, and so like I say, I can still get it in there, but I'm just more careful than what I used to be.
Yeah. Lovely pipes, so I'm really...
I think
the next few pipes or one or two will be Meerschaum anyway.
Yeah.
I'm convinced you get better flavour still. I don't think it's placebo effect or anything.
Well, like I say, that the beautiful thing is that because they don't ghost, you're not sort of smoking your tobacco, what you've had in there, the smoke before sort of thing. So again, you're getting like that true taste from it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Rather than having sort of half a dozen dedicated pipes for certain tobaccos, you can just keep chucking it all into that one.
Yeah. First pipe I bought was a Astoria, it's called. I was in Benidorm on holiday about 7 years ago. So I think it's basically a no name, but I still have it. And it was like a varnished finish, reddy black color. But what I've done recently, and of course being on holiday, I didn't know a thing about vulcanite. So when I came home, it was bright green, the stem, from the sunshine and the water or whatever. So I've scrubbed the hell out of it and took the varnish off, and so it's a natural finish now, so it looks a lot better. But then the first proper pipe was the Peterson System 307, this wee small bowl. So I really like those wee Peterson pipes. Next question for you then, it was just, there isn't a lot of questions. I just wanted to get, we need to know this. If you had to have 3 tobaccos then for the rest of your life, what would be your third, second, and favorite?
I think my third, right, let's think. It's going to be a Latakia. So I would probably go for, let's think. I'll go for Artisan Blend because that's easy to get in the UK. Artisan Blend Pirate Cake.
Okay.
That would be my third.
Number 2. 60% Latakia, isn't it? It's very heavy.
Yeah. Well, I actually cut my teeth on a 75% Latakia.
Jesus. That was your first one? Your first tobacco?
Yep.
And
I went into...
you went back to smoke more?
Oh, yeah. Well, what was obviously I used to smoke cigars.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
And I always remember I went into the tobacconists in Durham, which sadly it closed this year. And I went in and I said to the guy behind the counter, I said, look, I'm not getting across to Portugal as much as I used to, so I can't get cheap cigars anymore. Because I saw a guy in the local club when I'd finished the cigar. He took me sort of like I had about that much left of the cigar, and he got me cut. He chopped that end off, stuffed it in his pipe, and finished it off. And I thought, if I used to smoke Romeo and Juliet's at the time, I used to think, well, I'm probably throwing away about £2 worth of cigar here.
Get your money's worth, yeah.
Yeah, so I just went out and I bought a cheap pipe. Again, it was like a bent sitter, still got it. And so obviously I started doing that. So I went into this tobacconist in Durham and I said, look, I'm looking to step away from cigars. What pipe tobacco do you think I should get that'll taste like a cigar?
Yeah.
And if you wanted to taste like a cigar, keep smoking cigars. It's like, yeah, all right, smart ass, come on, what can I get?
Yeah.
And he sort of opened a couple and I just have a smell of them. Because I had that thing in my head, like what my grandfather used to smell of when I used to go in his house. And then he just popped the lid on this Latakia and straight away I got that wood smoke, wood burning smell.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'll give that a try. And he went, really?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why? He says, well, this is 75% Latakia. I said, and
what's up?
What's Latakia? So he said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, I'll give you, he had a couple. He had the 75% one and he had another one. So he said, what I'll do is, he said, I'll give you sort of like 50 grams of each. Take it home, try them individually. And if that one's like the 75% is too strong, mix the two of them together.
Okay. So
I went home, had my first bowl, and when I stopped sweating and picked myself up off the floor, I sort of thought, oh, that's actually not bad as it actually is. So yeah, that was it. Straight into 75%.
Yeah, you would be an English blend man then, first and foremost. You would prefer English to?
I don't know. I was going to say the second one I'm going to go with would be the the Westminster.
Okay, yeah.
Is that like sort of that? Is that classed as in English? Like a,
Yeah, it's got a lot of
you
gate,
know, yeah,
Oriental.
it's got like a P and Orientals and
There's
Virginias and that in it. So, but that's definitely
right.
second one. Absolutely love that. I have had variants. I've got a one called Piccadilly Centaurs by John Panzer, which is very similar. And Skiff Mixture. I think Skiff Mixture is really close to it as well, which I'm happy about because I know at least I can get it in the UK easy enough.
Yeah.
But the number one spot has got to be GLP's Robusto.
I haven't tried that. Okay.
Absolutely love it. I was having a ball there before I came on the Zoom, but it's just so hard to get hold of.
Yeah.
When I tried to order it from where I usually get my stuff from abroad, they never have it in stock, so that just shows how popular it is. But it's probably just as well because I think I wouldn't order anything else.
Right. Have you ordered from smokingpipes.com or any other American site?
No, because smokingpipes.com, I don't think they give you a customs friendly label. You've got to be a bit careful. I know some people have been bitten by the customs hounds and been really stiffed. So
you're taking a chance, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, every time I order, I do ask them, just say, look, you know, if you don't mind, can you just put on that it's like a jar of coffee or something like that? And 9 times out of 10 they do. Sometimes they don't. But again, if I know because we've got so many friends in the USA now on the YTPC, and I know a lot of them have said, you know, I mean, there's some cigars I'm wanting, but sadly they don't send over here. And Sam jumped in straight away and he said, well, look, you know, if you're stuck, if you want us to get them, I'll order them and ship them to you. So at least we know there is ways and means of getting them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they stipulate on the website that they will ship internationally anywhere you want, but don't ask us to do that, basically. That's what's in the small print. The other thing, have you been on, there's a German website for cigars, Hasio or Hathio. It's HACIO. If you have, you should check them out, man. I have a friend who's into his Cubans, and he would order 3 times a year from them. Hasn't had any issues yet, and they know what to do, you know, when they're selling. Yeah. So
that might be one. I know I was talking to a guy at work, and I was talking to him about it, and he said a friend of his gets his Cuban cigars from Germany.
That might be the site. Yeah.
So that could be the same one then.
Yeah, good price.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, check it out. HACIO. If you just Google it, Hacio cigars or Hathio or whatever. It must be a Latin American word or a Spanish word, or just the name of the website. Who knows? Right.
Am I a bit bright? Because I'm going up on
You are. I was going to say.
Sorry about that.
You weren't about 2 minutes ago. You were fine. You're a bit bright now.
Yeah, it's a bit. Still playing around with this thing. Is that better? Not better.
That's a bit better. Have you got a ring light? Have you?
Yeah, I bought one because it's from your recommendation, so I went and gave it a try.
Did you use that company, the ESDDI?
I can't remember now. I haven't got the box with us, but I got this on. I think it was on a deal. I think I got it for about 23 quid.
Yeah, they're good.
So you got like a little sort of like a handheld one that you can use, just like a little stick, as well as the actual light as well. So yeah, I've been after one for a while.
Yeah, you can get it's called a diffuser, which is like a cloth, a circular cloth, if you want to stop it from being too bright on you. But you look fine.
Well, I did that originally. Dublin Pipe. He just had a light with a piece of tissue paper over it.
Okay.
So I just got like an old desk lamp, stuck a bit of tissue paper over the front, and it worked a treat until the lamp decided to blow up on us. So that was that out the window.
It's nice having one with a tripod, easier.
Yeah.
So anything special planned for your week off then?
Not really. We're going to go and get like stuff in Christmas shopping, like just fill the freezer up, stuff like that. And like I say, was hoping to maybe get up to Newcastle.
So sorry I asked you this before. Yeah.
No, you're all right. But so yeah, I think it's just nice to be off.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, it's been a bit funny at work recently, so we're sort of humming and hawing whether to put us onto furlough or not. So we're just sort of like waiting to find out what's going to happen there. We hear that they're going to, because I'm off at Christmas anyway, we have a Christmas shutdown. But they've been saying that they might be, because we only work half a week leading up to Christmas anyway.
Right.
They've been saying, well, we don't know whether to put everybody on furlough the week leading up to Christmas or whether to do it the first couple of weeks in the new year. But that's all up in the air at the moment. So
okay.
just wait to see.
What industry are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
Just engineering. It's just steel industry. It's we do all the stuff for like the signal boxes next to the railway lines and on the motorways. So that's why, luckily, we've been working right through the sort of lockdown.
Yeah.
Because these guys have been sort of getting out there while it's quiet and doing as much sort of change around. They're actually changing all of the sort of signal boxes at the moment. They're upgrading them.
Okay.
And so obviously we've been getting a lot of orders in to sort of change those, but it's petered off a little bit now. So, but it's always the end of the year. It's quiet, isn't it?
Mm.
So.
Well, hopefully you don't get furloughed, or maybe hopefully you do. Don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I'm not really that bothered because Karen works in the pharmaceutical industry. That I used to work there as well. That's where we met. So naturally, she's working through it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she'd still be at work. So I'd probably just be sat there twiddling my thumbs and smoking too much.
Is she trying to get flu vaccines out to people this time of year? Yeah. And corona soon with the 95% effective. The new thing is meant to be straight off the bat. That's pretty amazing. Hopefully it's true.
I'd be interested to see if companies are going to make it to get the vaccine.
Mm.
Whether it's going to be your choice if you want it or not, or if they're going to say, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you don't have a job. That would be the interesting thing to see, if it's forced on you or if it's still your own choice.
Yeah, how Orwellian is it going to get?
No, I know. It's like every day it's just thinking to myself, I mean, it wasn't that long ago I actually like read 1984 again, and I was reading it and I'm thinking to myself, I remember the first time I read this, it was actually like a science fiction fantasy, but now I'm reading it, it's actually more like an autobiography sort of thing. You know, it's like, why am I reading this? I'll just have to look out the window.
Yeah, it's so scary.
You know.
What is the word for plebs? They don't use the word plebs. What are the regular people called again? I forget. There's a word.
Or like
the proles.
Chav.
Proles. In the book.
Oh, right.
Proles.
Oh, I can't remember that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Proles.
Proles, yeah. Something like that.
Great book.
Well, I have to say.
Sorry, go on.
I have to say, Cassidy, I'm quite shocked that when I saw you with a name like Cassidy, that you weren't a redhead and you wore sunglasses and you drank people's blood.
What?
Now do you know who I'm on about?
Redhead, vampire, Cassidy? No, don't know. Who?
You know, you're not a Preacher fan then.
No. Is that
not in the comics?
Oh right. Is that the Machine Gun Preacher, or no?
No, it's Garth Ennis wrote a story called Preacher.
Wasn't that
one of the?
Wasn't he featured sometimes in the 2000 AD comics, or was he completely separate from them?
I think he was in one of the Judge Dredd magazines. They actually had it in there as like a supplement,
right?
For a while, but no, it was DC Vertigo.
Right.
He made a TV series of it. It was pretty crap, but
okay.
I wasn't sure if you'd pick up on it.
Is there a character called Cassidy?
Yeah.
I see.
He's an Irish vampire. Brilliant. If you get to Google it, because it's fantastic.
Okay. I used to like the 2000 AD comics when I was younger.
Yeah, I grew up with that. Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's only about sort of 7 years ago I stopped buying it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started getting it in about 1980, but I just didn't have nowhere to store them all, so I got sick of
Did you
every
hold?
time I moved.
Did you hold on to the?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Some of them will be.
oh yeah. I got to the point where I needed one van just to shift my comics and another van to shift the rest of the furniture. So I thought, right, we've got to go.
Yes, some of those would be worth some money, possibly.
I think some of the earlier ones, and there was a couple that were banned, and they're sort of circulated. They're coming for like a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that many of them out there, like you say, you can pick them up pretty cheap as chips. So
What do you think
I mean,
of? Did you like the Judge Dredd Sylvester Stallone movie? Did you enjoy it?
I like both of them. I think like you say, the Sylvester Stallone one, it's its own thing. But I mean, the one they did, the last one with Carl Urban, was just spot on.
It's good too, yeah. Yeah.
I think it was spoiled because they brought out the movie The Raid, which was like a similar thing where they fight in a tower block. I think it sort of lost a bit of its thunder through that one. But yeah, I loved it.
What is that a proper porter glass you're drinking then? You're drinking from?
This was for, I think it was for, I got it in a set with a bottle of Black Sheep.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like sort of a beer. So yeah, I just fits in there nice. So I just drink out of that. So yeah, I've got a proper Guinness glass as well. So
you've stolen some from bars, local bars? Naughty boy.
I used to have loads. Remember one night I went out and I had this thing for the little American style shot glasses once. And we went for a drink in Maidenhead and I had these cargo pants under the side pockets.
Filled.
And these girls were going around dressed up as cowboys and they were doing the tequila shots. And I think I had about 16 of these glasses, 8 in each pocket. I was walking home and I was just like clinking all the way home. And I woke up next morning and I thought, what the hell am I doing with 16 bloody shot glasses?
They'll come in handy.
Yeah. If I got caught, God knows, I wouldn't be able to run, that's for sure.
Well, from the age of 18 till 26 or so, no, 27 or so, I was a bartender. Oh dear, and just the drink was constant. It was acceptable. I don't think you get away with it these days, but I was very charismatic when I was drunk, and that kind of was good for, even if I was in the restaurant, it was very good with people, and noticeably larger tips for everyone if I was on shift and I'd had a few drinks. So everyone let it slide for many years,
Yeah.
Would start. But see, even the first time when you're 14 and you start having your first few beers, like I could never just have one or two. It's genetic. It runs in the family as well. I've got uncles who were piss heads and stuff. So I just had the wife. Yeah, she basically saved me essentially. So, but I really have to watch myself now. Like I can't drink at all.
So, I do. I mean, 15 pints of Guinness was average when I used to go out for a drink.
Yeah.
And I think I shocked myself one Saturday afternoon. I had 15 pints in 3 hours.
3 hours? That's good going.
Yeah, it was five pints an hour, and I went home and I remember going into the house and my partner at the time, I sort of said to her, I said, what time is it? She says, oh, it's only 6 o'clock. You've only been out for 3 hours. And that's when it hit us. I thought, no, I can't be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So I really cut back a lot. And I think the great thing was that one of the jobs I had, I was a driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was going out and doing deliveries for the pharmaceutical company, and I thought to myself, well, it's just not worth the risk. So now it's, I can have a pack of Guinness in there for months, so.
Good, yeah.
I've eased up a lot.
It's not bad from a can either. With the invention of the widget, that's fine, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's okay.
The strange thing was when I lived down south, some of the places I used to go drinking, Guinness was like hen's teeth. I
Mm.
could not get Guinness anywhere.
Where do you,
Murphy's.
when you say down south?
I lived just outside of Maidenhead,
Okay, okay.
so I used to go drinking a lot in Maidenhead, Reading, Slough, and Burnham. Burnham was sort of like walking distance from where I was living, and a lot of the pubs I went into, for some reason, just didn't do Guinness, but
Weird.
they did Murphy's. So I sort of developed a taste for
I
the
think-
Murphy's instead of
I think
Guinness.
Murphy's had a thing where if you had Murphy's, you had Murphy's, and you didn't have Guinness, and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they made that interesting. Maybe cheaper, I guess, but yeah.
I always found Murphy's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, it's too sweet. If you're gonna have 15 of them in 3 hours, you would prefer Guinness.
Definitely.
Good lad. Would you have a wee Baileys on the side or a wee brandy mixed with Baileys?
No, I tell you what I have got, and I'm
Mhm.
going to open it tonight just for you.
Thank you.
I've had it for about a year. I've been sort of hanging on to it for a special occasion.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. Oh, Tullamore Dew. Good lad.
Now, again, I was actually, when I was living down south and I was working down there was a guy who I was working with down there was from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was about the time, I didn't really get into whiskies until I was about 27. Because I was going out with a girl from Scotland, so obviously, naturally, I had to drink whiskey for a dance. But he goes on to the proper stuff, not like Bell's or what have you. It was like the proper malt whiskies.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to this guy at work, and he said, "Oh, I've got to get you onto the Irish whiskies." I was like, "Right, okay." So he said, "I'm going home for the weekend." He says, "I'll bring you a bottle back." He said, "You cannot get it here." You couldn't at the time. He says, "You cannot get it here, but I'll bring you one back." And it was Tullamore Dew.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually in a plastic bottle. It wasn't glass.
Right? I don't
Which
think
I thought was strange.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was really over the moon when I finally sort of noticed it was becoming available in like your local supermarkets.
Yeah.
So
When
yes.
you were going through
Crack
your
it on.
when you were going through your Scotch phase, did you come across Lafroig?
Yep.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Love the peaty one.
Well, Talisker is my favourite.
Great.
Absolutely love that. But I got one for my birthday in July. I think it's called the Compass Box, and it's called the Peat Monster. Now, if you order from Cigars, they sell it on Cigars' website.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a blend, which I was quite surprised at because I thought it would have been a single malt, but honestly, it is fantastic.
Okay, yeah. Maybe
so if you like peaty whiskey,
yeah,
you've got to put it on your watch list because it's absolutely out of this world.
Another good Irish one, my friends rave about, Ardbeg.
Ardbeg, yeah.
Yeah. And do you open it up with a wee drop of water, or do you just drink it neat?
Straight down. As Michelino Finn said, when I drink water, I drink water. When I drink whiskey, I drink whiskey. And I've always stuck by that because it's one of my favourite films. So there you go. Cheers.
Chin chin. Cheers.
Oh yeah.
What's it, about 45 ABV?
I think it will be. Yeah. I can't say if that's a 45 or a 47. I think it'd be a 45, I think. Anything more than that, you're looking at your cask strengths and they tend to be a lot more expensive, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. You get into your Johnny Walker Blue Label territory prices.
But see, again, it's sort of like your tobaccos and your cigars and things like that. When you go abroad, you get the better whiskies. You know, it really annoys you when you think that when you go to sort of like distillers and they say, "Oh, we make this one, but it's just for the Japanese only. It doesn't go anywhere else but Japan." And or if you want a bottle of that, you'll have to go across, get it duty free, and we can't, because the strengths, we can't sell it in this country. And you think, well, what's the point, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But we made to suffer, aren't we?
Yep, that's it. And you always want what you can't have.
Well, that's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of the tobacco blends that are made up in Denmark and then just for the US market, shipped straight to the US, and we miss out on those. But I hear it has a lot to do with the additives. The US market is a lot more relaxed about what goes in their tobaccos, and their idea of food grade isn't the same as the British idea of food grade. So we can't have it.
Well, that might be changing with all this Brexit carry on. Well, God knows what we'll be getting in our meat and drink, and so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with that.
It's scary.
Yeah.
There's already been a couple of I know that there's a large outsourcer called Concentrix that have a big office in Belfast, and I know for a fact that a couple of their larger contracts, like Microsoft and stuff, are pulling out now. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they were simply relocating across the border in the south of Ireland, part of Europe. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, funnily enough, there was a report the other day about Nissan, which is just in Sunderland.
Okay, Nissan.
And they did sort of say to the workforce, don't vote leave. And obviously they did. But apparently there was an article in the German motor magazine that one of the executives had said that they were going to be pulling out of Sunderland and going over to Europe. I know I say Europe, but over to wherever, Germany, France, whatever. And obviously it's been found out here. They've been saying to them, well, is it true? Oh, no, I don't think it's come from us, but it's making me think now, well, has this been a bit of a slip up on their part? Right, yeah. Not thinking it would come back to the UK, but if they're losing Nissan up there, a lot of automotive companies around here, I mean, one I used to work for years ago, Talent Engineering, we used to make a lot of the stuff for Nissan. So it's not just them that would go, it's a lot of these smaller steel companies that
they'll suffer too, yeah.
As well, so it'll be interesting to see if it does happen.
It's amazing, really, how that happened. I mean, if there was one vote that you shouldn't put to the general public, I mean, that sounds unfair to the general public, but the majority of people who were voting leave weren't informed, and they were having their heads filled with bollocks, frankly, you know.
Yeah.
So, and they all felt.
You had the whole, let's give the 300 million to the NHS and the big red books and all that, and it's like, well, where's that? It's probably in a landfill somewhere out of sight, covered in lead.
Yeah.
You know,
it's nuclear.
And now the guy's prime minister, and he's like waffling on a night and can't make his mind up whether to shit shower or have a shave, and it's like, well, he's just pointless.
Yep. And the corona rules, like, what the hell? There's no. Go on.
I mean, we said at the time when he brought out this whole eat out to help out, it's like, what? That's just going to encourage people to like go out into restaurants even more.
Yeah.
Even now, look what happened.
Yeah, even opening up for this last week, it's just been bedlam in Belfast. People queuing up to shop in Primark, you know, and everyone's going to have coronavirus in a week or so.
I mean, the nearest Primark to me is in Darlington, and apparently the queue was out the shop, through the shopping mall, and out the entrance to the shopping mall and halfway down the street. And I thought, well, I'm not that desperate to go and buy a pair of £1 underpants, like. It's just, I think, because people are not allowed to do it, they just automatically rush out and just buy any old crap just for the sake of, I've been out shopping.
Yeah, I have to do it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I think 90% of my shopping anyway is done online anyway, so that's not really, I've not really suffered from it in that respect.
Yeah.
So, because I don't really have a car, so it's not like I go a lot of places to go shopping anywhere.
Okay. What do you cycle?
Uh-oh. No, I just jump on the bus.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Thought you were going to say you're totally green and you recycle everything and you don't flush your toilet, and you do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the rest of the days you don't. Save water.
I don't think I'd get away with that one somehow. Not in this house, that's for sure.
Yeah, not 15 pints of Guinness, certainly not.
I'm going to show it in 2 cuts.
Right.
So, did you used to be a singer in the band?
Yes, I was a singer in a way back in the day when I was 16. I started singing in a band called Whiplash.
Yeah.
And then more recently, I was a singer in a black metal band. Are you familiar with black metal? It originates in the Scandinavian countries like Norway. It's the lyrics.
Is this like the guys who won the Eurovision Song Contest a few years ago, and they were all like,
yeah,
sort of like 6-foot platform shoes and?
Yeah, well, they would be a parody of it all. It's all tongue in cheek usually, but the very offensive lyrics and blasphemous, and you would wear face paint and spit blood at the crowd and have burning pigs' heads on stakes and stuff on the stage and all that lovely stuff. So
very pagan then.
Yeah, it was good fun. That band was called Draconis. So if you Google Draconis, you'll come across a video of me playing in a bar in Belfast. I think there's one about knocking about, full of face paint and everything. But yeah. Are you musical yourself? Did you play guitar or anything?
No, I always wanted to play the piano. I always sort of like, if I could go back and sort of learn an instrument, it would definitely be a piano. I think the downside was, like, sort of when I was a kid, you couldn't really afford stuff like that. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it was pretty limited. You were lucky if you could get like a knackered old organ to play on, sort of thing. Whereas now it's so easily available and so cheap. It's not as bad. I mean, I was really into art. Well, I still am. When I was younger, and even just sort of getting decent art supplies was a huge trek, you know what I mean? So again, it was always pretty limited to what I could use art-wise. I think the best art materials I ever bought was when I went on a school holiday to Germany.
Okay.
And I came across this art shop, and I went in there, and obviously had all these really fine pens, you know, like 0.5 nibs and stuff like that. Well, I was in heaven, and I think my whole spending budget that I had for the school holiday, I spent in that one shop buying all these art materials. But the great thing is, when I came back, a friend of mine, I'd done this picture of a Grim Reaper, and he loved it. And he says, could you put it on my arm? Well, he was only 15 at the time. And because I had these fine markers, I said, right, I'll draw it on your arm with these markers. And I drew it on. But the blue of this marker pen just looked like the ink at the time of a tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't think he washed his arm for a month because he was very impressed with it.
Yeah. And
it wasn't until his mum saw it and she actually thought it was a real tattoo, and she totally scalped him. And it was like, no, it's not. That's, you know, you have to wash it off, you know. And, but yeah, that was always about art for me.
I'm useless at drawing. Absolutely useless. Don't have an artistic bone in my body in that way.
I've done a few tattoo designs that have ended up as tattoos on people, so
really?
quite chuffed with that, yeah. So
did you ever?
People usually come and say, "Oh, can you do this picture for us? I want a tattoo." And so I was like, "Yeah, tell us what you want and see what I can come up with." So yeah.
You could be a tattoo artist then.
Well, it's like I said to you before, to be quite honest with you, I mean, I've got my first tattoo, like my first and only at the moment, a couple of years ago. And when I saw really how easy it was, because, you know, I always had this vision in my mind that everything was basically freehand. There was no, you know, and when I went in, it was just basically put a transfer on your arm and basically traced it.
Yeah.
And I was like sort of watching the guy doing it, and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, I'm paying like £350 for this.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good money these days for
well, the guy who did me, I mean, I'm his friend on Facebook. I mean, he's driving around in an Aston Martin.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it's like, I mean, their price has gone up now. I think it's £500 for a day now, and you're like, thinking, my God.
Yeah. It's about £100 an hour now, isn't it? Mad. When I started getting tattoos, I was 17. Sure, I was 18. But you used to go in, show them what you wanted, and then they would quote you, you know, and it would be, I'd say 80 quid, and if it took 4 hours, it took 4 hours. But then footballers, I blame the footballers. They all started getting tattoos.
Like your David Beckhams and what have you.
Aye, and become very.
But I think the programs like Miami Ink and Ink Masters and stuff like in London Ink, and I think that really bumped the prices up as well, because it's not like years ago where it was like a Black Panther or a skull with a dagger through its head, you know, and
yeah.
You know, that turns green about half an hour after you've had it put on.
Yeah.
But now they really are works of art, aren't they? I mean, you look at some of them, you think, my God, it's absolutely, it belongs on a wall, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. There's a
so
very.
It is worth. You get a good tattoo artist, it's worth every penny. Like.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one very reputable guy in Belfast, Chris. I forget his surname, but he has a couple of shops now. White Dragon is the name of his outlet, and what does he drive? He has an American. It's a Mustang, bright orange thing. One of the muscle car Mustangs. I don't know what the model is. I'm not that big a petrol head, but really nice car. But yeah, he's back and forth to America, and I think he's tattooed some of the stars as well. So he's doing well. If you become good, there's a lot of money to be made, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was hoping to get my left sleeve done this year. That was the original plan. Because I was going to go back to the guy who did mine, and because I've been going with a lad who I used to work with, he's been going back and forth a couple of times. He was due to go in as well this year, but obviously with it all, it's been cancelled and everything. So yeah, hopefully next year I'll get me.
Do you have your upper arm then started? Is it your upper arm?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a wee peak. What is it? A raven? Oh no. That's really well done.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah. So it's a
snowtrooper. And that's got that walker in there.
Yeah, that's class. I really like the style of it. It's kind of what do you call it? Old-fashioned comic style.
Well, the reason I liked it, and the reason why the tattoo artist wanted to do it, because the one who did me, who owns the shop that I found out at the time, he does a lot of street art.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw this image I had this image for years before I actually got it done. But it reminded us of, you know, Banksy, the street artist.
Yeah.
It looks similar to that. So when I went in originally, I thought, I'll just get it like done small. But when I went in and I was sort of talking to the guy who was going to do it, I said, you know, I think I really needed sort of like the whole top half of my arm. He said, definitely. Mm-hmm. And then when he put the transfer on and I looked at it, I said, yeah, that's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, 5 hours it took.
Yeah.
And like I say, when I said to him, I said, it just got us straight away, because it reminded us of a Banksy picture. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I'm a big street artist. I go out spray painting, graffiti and everything. He says, you were supposed to be getting done by another tattoo artist, but when I saw the picture, that's who it reminded me of. And he thought, and I said straight away, no, I'm doing it. So I was like, I was over the moon.
That's cool. You have the is passionate then for you. Having a bit of a connection issue. Your image has frozen on me.
Are you still there?
You're back. You're back. I don't know what
Sorry,
happened.
did I freeze there?
Yeah, it froze. What was I going to say? Talking about Banksy on the what do you call it? Antiques Roadshow. Did you see the guy that had brought a Banksy in?
Yeah, he took it off the wall.
It
He
was
tore a strip off him. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That backfired, didn't it?
He deserved that. He should have bloody known.
Of course.
I mean, first of all, he went directly to Banksy's agent and said, "How much is this worth?" And they told him that he was a piece of shit. So what did he think was going to happen live on television?
Sorry, I'm just wondering if it might be my internet. I've just popped it onto mobile
Okay.
broadband, so I'll see if it'll. Because sometimes it can be a bit. Your Wi-Fi and it can be a bit funny.
I just changed the view to gallery view there. I had it on the regular view, but I think gallery view is probably best for sticking out. So, YTPC wise, how long is old is your channel? A good 4 or 5
About
years?
2.5 years. No.
Was it not
2.5
long?
years.
I thought it was long.
No. I think it was about April. Yeah, about April 2018. I started. Yeah, but I was on the sick at the time, and I used to have to do sort of like exercises on the morning because I had a problem with my inner ear. That's one of the reasons why I don't drive anymore.
Right. Okay.
And so I had to do these sort of exercises on the morning, but when I finished doing them, it used to really knock us sick, and I used to feel really ill. And what I used to do to sort of come down was I used to watch YouTube videos, and I started watching George Bruno, you know, the
Yes, the
Sultanelli and all stuff like that. And it sort of got us into the pipes, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll maybe start smoking my pipe again. So when I did my exercise, I would sit up the top and have maybe an hour to sort of bring myself back down to earth.
Yeah.
And then I thought one day, oh, to hell with it, I'm just going to do video and see what happens.
Yeah.
That was it. So rest is history.
We're all very glad you did. Absolutely. George Bruno, what a
I was actually over. Well, I really liked him when I first started watching him. And then when he started going into this whole sort of like, you know, get unstuck sort of thing and twirling his coffee with chopsticks, and I was starting to think, well, this is sort of getting a bit out there.
Woo woo, yeah. And he says it gets the coffee at the molecular level with the yeah, okay, mate.
Yeah.
You're a bit too American for us there. But, I would not consider myself new age. I'm quite old fashioned, I think, anyway, in my attitudes politically, and my attitudes of, you know, many different things. Like, politically speaking, as far as I was concerned, I was centrist, maybe leaning slightly left, but the ideas that I hold would now probably be considered right wing. You know how times have changed, but yeah, some of the things he says and his attitudes towards women are a bit startling for me, even for me, who's slightly old-fashioned, who I think I am anyway. I don't think I'm terribly progressive in a bad way, but he says some things that are just a bit too on the chauvinist side for me sometimes as well. But
yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't know how he might have felt if I'd sort of called him a bit of a male chauvinist pig sort of thing. But yeah, I thought to myself, well, yeah, I can understand why he's single, mate. So yeah, he can be a bit close to the bone.
Yeah, sometimes.
And that's why I just unfollowed him and stopped watching him.
Yeah, but it could be that he's playing to the, you know, to his audience, and he's certainly got a larger audience these days because of things like that, maybe stirring the pot.
I know, but again, I tend to think that sometimes I think they're a bit like televangelists, aren't they? You know, when you watch them, you think you should be careful what you say, because a lot of people are watching you and they're taking what you say as gospel and they're hanging on to every word. And you know, these are the sort of guys who, you know, you turn around and say, well, you know, go out and shoot that person because they've got the wrong trousers on today. And these people will go out and do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you should really be careful because these platforms, a lot of people who watch it, you just don't know what, you might think what you've got in your mindset sounds right, but to somebody else who hangs on to it, you think to yourself, you could be causing a lot of problems, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I hope to think somebody doesn't watch one of these videos by these guys and they end up going home and smacking their wives and, you know, things like that.
I mean,
It's close to the bone.
yeah, it can be. I try to be careful in what I do and say, and so far anyway.
Yeah.
In the YTPC, I try not to swear too much. What are the Is there any regulations on swearing or anything? I don't.
Well,
think...
I've getting away. I've getting away with it, so yeah, I don't know.
I've been, trying not to use the F word or the C word, you know.
Well, I dropped the C-bomb a few videos ago, and I thought to myself, right, let's see how quick this gets taken down, and nobody. Not so much as I didn't get you'd been a naughty boy or nothing. That was it. No bans. So I thought, oh well.
I'll try it then.
But yeah, I do try to keep it out of the gutter. But I am dying to fart on YouTube, I must admit.
You should have a video dedicated to it.
Oh yeah.
I have to ask then, are you a football supporter then?
Unfortunately not.
No, neither am I. Good.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not.
We don't have to go there then, that's good.
Yeah.
So you weren't.
I think the problem is because I had two older brothers, and one brother was all for Newcastle, one brother was all for Sunderland. So naturally, when I came along, it was like, right, which one of us is going to get him on my team, sort of thing. So they kept going on, support Newcastle, support Sunderland. So I always remember when I went to the comprehensive school and we needed a football kit, and my mum had sort of said to us, "What football kit do you want to school?"
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a clue because, like you say, I just didn't bother it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Oh, just give us the red and white one." So, I don't know if I've lost you again.
Yeah, you've frozen on me. Let's see.
Are we back?
You're back.
Sorry, yeah. So I said to my mum, "Just give us the red and white one."
Mm-hmm.
She bought us a Middlesbrough strip. And the worst of it was when I went to school, everybody had either Newcastle or Sunderland, and because I had Middlesbrough, I was always left on the bench, which I wasn't really bothered about because I just couldn't stand the sport anyway. So yeah, I was okay.
I have a very similar story. My father and brother, Manchester United fans. I didn't really know a thing about football, but just being rebellious, I didn't want to support them. And when I went to get my first jersey, it was going to be a Manchester United one, I think, but there was none left in the store because that year they had won the league or whatever and it sold out. And so I got a Blackburn Rovers instead because I liked the colours, you know. And obviously then got bullied in school for wearing it, and yeah, not chosen for football, bit like yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a bit strange, the whole, when they start saying we, you know, when they're talking about their football teams and they use the word we, you know, we did really well this year and we're playing really well. We? Really? Yeah.
I think again, it's become too commercialised as well, hasn't it? I mean, when you look at how much football players are getting paid and everything, it's like fashion models and you know, and you think, oh, again, it's like, well, why? You've got like normal Joes like us who go out and bust our ass for minimum wage to go out and spend a couple of £1,000 a year for like a season ticket and what have you, and you're watching these guys kick a football for 90 minutes and they're driving around in Ferraris, and you think, well, who's the mug?
Yeah. And I've heard some arguments about why, justifying why they should get paid that much because their career span is so short, you know, but come on, that's a ridiculous excuse.
Well, I'm going to have to ask, are you Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 4. I don't know if I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. don't know. I've found myself gaming less and less these days. So I'm
Yeah.
just not interested. I'll go through a period of about 6 months where I'll get really interested. The Witcher 3 was the last game I played start to finish and was really interested. But no, I played occasionally on PC with a group of friends. We'd play PUBG, if you're familiar with that game.
Sorry, Cass. Can you hear the helicopter?
It's faint.
Got a helicopter right above.
It should be the other way around. I'm meant to have helicopters.
He was just round a few minutes ago and he's come back.
What have you done?
It's probably all the house lit up with the Christmas lights. He's probably having a low fly to have a look at them.
Yeah. Have you got your tree up yet?
Oh yeah, it's all up. I did all the outside last weekend. Got it all put up, so yeah.
We did ours today. It's a nice big black one with gold and silver decorations. So just to be a bit humbug about it, had to have a black tree.
I've got my handmade one in the back garden. See if you can see it.
Very nice. Oh, is it wood? Is it a pallet?
Yeah.
Nice one. Was that 15 pints of Guinness and a chainsaw?
Yeah, must be looking for somebody. Sounds like it's landing on the roof, doesn't it? Being invaded.
Did you rob a bank earlier?
The aliens are coming.
They're gonna land.
So what made you decide to become a presenter?
Long time lurker, I was. And I think COVID had a lot to do with it, lockdown as well. And I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to become involved, and especially to just have a bunch of mates online and who you can send things to back and forth and a bit of banter, probably for much the same reasons as yourself. But yeah, boredom had a lot to do with it as well. So
I do think Zoom's starting to take over it a lot, I think. I think it's a lot nicer when you can obviously interact more, sort of speak to people rather than just doing a video and answering comments and things like that. I mean, I think the last live I did, I think the longest live I ever did was 4 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Last year. And, but again, the trouble is, it's trying to keep up with like people sort of chatting to you online and everything. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I was absolutely mortal by the time I finished it.
Yeah.
To the point where I couldn't read the comments and I had to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think, yeah, I'm definitely thinking more along the lines of paying the extra money on Zoom and being able to do more Zoom videos rather than just YouTube. I think YouTube's going to end up going the way of the dodo as well if this whole carry on about banning people doing tobacco products or drink or things like that.
Yeah.
So I think they either need to get on board and come up with some sort of Zoom feature of their own.
Yeah.
Or I think we're going to lose a real big customer base.
Are you paying for YouTube Premium then? Are you?
No.
No, right.
No.
No, I thought you said. What did you say then? You were paying extra for?
I think. Do you pay Zoom to be able to host or?
No, it's absolutely free. Absolutely.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't realise it was free. I thought you had to pay for it.
No.
Right.
You don't even need to download it. You just go on the site. It's obviously a lot handier if you download the app, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
know. Do you follow Uncle Phil?
Yeah. He's agreed.
I know he's great. I mean, I talk to him all the time. Yeah, I know he's done a lot of Zoom meets.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There must be something going on around here because the helicopter's back again.
Somebody's on the run.
Must be.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Uncle Phil. and his radio presenter voice. I enjoy the snuff as well, so I like to watch his snuff reviews. So.
Well, a friend of mine brought some stuff for us to try a couple of months ago, and I've had the odd pinch. But so something I've thought to myself, do I really want to get into that? Because the trouble is, I'm starting to get a taste for the cigars again, and I think, well, how many more things do I really want to get involved with? You know?
Yeah. You're gonna have a nicotine overload. Cigars, snuff, and pipes. Yeah, a bit too much. Although there was one that I had recently, McChrystal's, and it's called Aztec, and it's a chocolatey snuff. If you're gonna try one, try it. Very nice, and it's not very strong. It's quite light. Yes, but Uncle Phil, I'm gonna hopefully track him down and get him on one of these. He said he'd be up for it. And then after that, it's our friend, is it Steve, Smoking Cardboard?
Yeah.
And then Chris, the young man, Chris from Canada, the Rambling Dilettante. And then once that's done, I think then I want to have one with all of us. Be a bit, a bit of crack. Would you be?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's been a few people dropped off the YTPC recently, I've noticed. I know Pick and Piper, he hasn't been on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Smurfinelli, he's been gone for months now. You know, they were quite regular.
Yeah.
So, but again, I mean, one of the reasons really why I haven't been coming on as much is the fact that with being in lockdown and everything, there's not really a great deal you can sort of do and discuss, and I've just really been working my way more through my cellar rather than getting like a lot of tobaccos to try. So
yeah,
I thought, while it's quiet, I'll just work my way through all these open tins and get something later on, sort of thing.
Yeah. How many open tins do you have? Too many?
Didn't count. Far too many.
Yeah. I recently opened a tin of 1792 Flake. Have you tried it? Very weird. Creosote, almost. Taste of it.
I know.
Very strange.
I think I ended up giving mine away to somebody because, again, it's like, I'm not really all that keen on ones that give you that sort of tar feeling on your top of your mouth. You know, it's like a bit oily.
Yeah.
And I found that with that rich dark flake as well. I know a lot of people rave about that, but I don't know. It didn't sit with me for some reason.
Yeah. No, it's a bit too heavy for me. But I think I enjoy it. Old Darkfired was another one I recently tried for the first time, and I really, really am enjoying that. It's great.
But I was actually surprised because with us liking cigars, I thought, I'll probably go more for the heavier taste and pipe tobacco, but for some reason I don't.
Do you like your burleys? Do you enjoy your burley blends?
I don't mind them when I get them. I don't purposefully go out and if I see that it's a burley, I don't go, it's burley and I'll buy it. If I buy it and it's got burley in, then I'm more for it. So I know Phil, he loves his burley.
Yeah.
So, because I got a one burley without the bite. Got that to try, but again, it didn't sit with us.
Yeah. I really like the Amphora original. If you haven't tried it, you should try it.
Try that, yeah.
That's good. Like,
if you can, try that Amphora Kentucky if you can.
Yeah, I'll try that. I haven't tried that.
It's really nice.
Okay.
Sorry, Caster. Helicopters doing my thing. I'll be 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just try and keep you entertained, folks. Smoking these Solani
is right up above the conservatory. So you must be looking for somebody.
Yeah.
See, we've got fields next to us, so obviously you tend to get a lot of them doing running through the fields. So
Try and hide. Somebody's been on a big Christmas shoplifting spree.
well, the trouble is, a lot of people have lost their jobs, so it's going to be hard for them this year.
Yeah. Yeah. We've noticed there's more crime in our area. We've actually had to set up a neighborhood watch. This isn't a bad area, so, but I think, like you say, it's a tight Christmas this year, so you're getting more people looking in people's sheds and stuff for bicycles.
We've been quite lucky here at Touchwood. It's not, the trouble is, because it's not like the street we live in, because we live in a bungalow, so there's a few bungalows on here, so they're a lot older, so they tend to be in all day anyway. And in all honesty, anybody who comes in the street, you see straight away, and they always sort of like, who's this new person? You know, it's like, are you local? So
There's a local shop for local people.
oh, definitely. Especially the old guy next door.
Is he good crack or is he dodgy? There's always one.
There's always one. It's not too bad. Because we started sitting out the front when we had the nice weather.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was our friends across the road, they brought their chairs over and they were sat on our drive and we were sat in front of the house. And then our other friends on the other corner, they brought their chairs and they were sat on the top corner of our front lawn.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sort of like the six of us were sort of like just sat there having a drink in the sun, having a chat. You know, plenty of distancing.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had the 75th anniversary VE Day and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was about 17 people in our front garden at one point. Not all in one go, but it was like a couple would come and then they would go and then a couple of others would come along. And well, he had a bit of a twist next door sort of thing. And it was like, well, instead of twisting about it, why didn't you come out and bring your chairs and just sit down with us? You know, we kept social distancing. We weren't, you know, we had our own drinks. You know, they brought their own bottles and what have you. So what was the problem?
Mm.
Obviously, he had his little rumble and moan and then walked off sort of thing. It's like,
is he just a bit Victor Meldrew?
Very, very.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm. How's his cigar?
Really nice.
More peppery on the finish towards the end.
Actually, there's no pepper in this at all. It's really mild. I was quite surprised with it being so dark.
Mm.
I thought, oh, this is going to be a real nice Maduro, you know. But no, it's really not what I was expecting at all. I mean, I got a pack of 5. I got a sampler pack.
Uh-huh.
And all of them have been not bad smokes, actually. I think I paid something like, I think it was like $20, which is probably about £17 for the 5. And I kept this one with it being the darkest. I thought, oh, this is probably going to be dynamite.
Yeah.
But no, it's really mild, actually. I've had stronger. Definitely get one and give it.
Do you ever sample the Monte Cristo No. 2?
I got a Monte Cristo given to us by Crosby's Corner a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first one I ever had. And when I was smoking it, I kept getting, the taste reminded us of, you remember the old Boiled Sweets pear drops?
Yeah.
You know that weird taste you get when you eat too many of them? It's like
a dryness?
Yeah, it's like a weird taste, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I got that from it. And then I wasn't really enjoying it that much. Now, I thought at the time, it was when I was just starting getting back into cigars, and I thought, well, it probably wasn't the best one to try. I should have waited. And then later on in the night, I was sat in the living room and I was sort of like running my tongue on the inside of my mouth. And you know when you have sort of too many pickled onion crisps and it takes the skin off the inside of your mouth?
Yeah, it's like sensitive.
Yeah, that's what I got. And I was actually literally pulling the skin out of the inside of my mouth, and I thought, no. So, but again, I don't know if it was just because I was getting back into cigars and it was getting that sort of bit hardening of the skin in my mouth, if you like, or what, I don't know. But yeah, it put us off.
Strange, yeah.
And the strange thing as well is that my favourite cigars was the Romeo and Juliet #2.
Lovely.
Absolutely loved them. And I had a Romeo and Juliet not that long ago, and to be quite honest with you, I've had better.
Mm.
That Gotham cigar I had a few weeks ago was absolutely out of this world. But again, I messaged them on Instagram and everything and said, look, do you ship to the UK? And they were like, no, we don't. So it's like, oh, damn it. You know, you find something that you really like and you kind of get it. And,
yeah.
But hopefully, if Sam's coming to the rescue, I might be able to get some.
Yeah, I've heard some, Santa's coming to the rescue. I've heard some, bad things about Cuban soil not being right in the past 5 years, and 3 out of 10 is unsmokable, and all sorts of real scare stories, but can't go wrong.
I know, I'm tending to find sort of like the Nicaraguan. I think they're a lot tastier. Like you say, I don't think Cuban cigars are as up there as unless you're going to spend sort of like £30 plus for something that's like really. But again, you could pay £35 for, like a Cohiba, and it'll be an absolute horrendous smoke. So again, they're not really something that you can waste money on if it turns out to be a horrible smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I buy those factory smokes, factory seconds, like $50 for 25, and they're like a Churchill cigar, and they're great.
Yeah, yeah.
For a cheap. I know people say, "Oh, like it's a cheap cigar." But it's like, well, if you like it, what difference does it make?
Exactly.
Again, if I get a cigar and I don't like it, I'll just chop it up, put it in my cigar blend in a jar, mix it with something else, and then just smoke it in my pipe. And I find it's a totally different experience again.
Mm-hmm.
Might smoke awful as a stick, but when you chop it up and put it in a pipe, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I've yet to try that, but yeah, I find I have more luck. There's a brand called Balmoral. They're Dominican Republic. You should check them out. They have a really nice 3-year aged one. If you're on that Hasio, whatever it is, website, they have some really good prices on those. Balmoral, good cigars, and not expensive, not too expensive.
The ones I've really been surprised at and I've really enjoyed is those Nub cigars. I mean, I know they're only small.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really, really tasty. I mean, again, I wouldn't buy them from the UK anymore when I know I can get them cheaper from the States. But
yeah, for
like a little cigar, brilliant smoke.
Packs a punch. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. So what would be your top 3 tobacco then?
Top 3. Let's see. I think Squadron Leader would be 3 or 2, because I do like English blends, but sometimes too much Latakia is a bit too much. But I like my mixture 965 and I like Nightcap. But yeah, I like the way that the Squadron Leader's balanced, so that would be 3, I think. 2, I think, is going to be Rattray's London Eye. It's an aromatic, and it's got a cocoa, rum, and vanilla. I think that's it. But it's Virginia Brown Cavendish based. Nothing crazy there. And for number 1, at the minute, it's Amphora Original, I think. I really, really, really like the burley notes off of it. It's really chocolatey and nutty and lovely.
Yeah.
I think so. That would be it. It changes every month, though.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, again, I was heavily into aromatics when I first started, like your Captain Black Cherry and Cold Blood Red Moon. I mean, I used to be able to get them from eBay, but when I first started from the guy in the States. obviously got found out and got shut down. But then obviously, as time's gone on, I've gone more into sort of like just the plain tobaccos. That's why I was really surprised when I took a chance with these Christmas blends.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit, wow, do I really want to get back into the aromatic scene? But that Christmas one I got, what was it? Seasonal blend?
Yes, it was a nice big tin.
Sorry, the winter time.
That's a lovely, lovely tin too, isn't it?
Honestly, if you can get one, grab it, because it's absolutely out of this world. It's not. When I've tried the other one, can't think what it's called now. It's got the fox on the front. That was really sort of cherry amaretto, but it wasn't like a chemical cherry.
Okay.
Whereas this one, I was expecting this one being similar, but it's not. It's totally different. It's very sort of orange zest. It's still got the fruit. It's like a chocolate cake, really. Yeah, fruit cake.
Yeah.
Really nice, and it's got rosemary in it, believe it or not.
Right. Yeah.
So you get that little sort of like leg of lamb sort of kick when you're smoking it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's
Where
really
did
nice.
Where did you order from?
Black Swan Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out then.
I was actually quite surprised. I think I'd gone on, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram, and I saw the tin, and somebody said, "Oh, this stuff's out of this world," and I thought, "Oh, I'll check it out." And I didn't really expect to be able to get it, and I happened to see it on the Black Swan Shop. But again, it's 100 grams, so it's like sort of 33 quid, and I'm thinking, do I really want to spend that? It's not a nice one. But I thought, well, if I don't like it, I can send it on. It's no hardship. But when I got it, it's really nice.
I'll invest then, because I do like an aromatic still. Like yourself, when I didn't know anything about tobacco, it was all about the flavors, all about the aromatics. So
I think the strangest aromatic I ever got has got to be Captain Black Grape.
Grape, right?
Honestly, and it's like grape juice.
Weird.
And it's really weird.
Right.
If you ever get the chance to pick one up, grab one just to try it.
And they don't do it in 7 Cs, do they? They don't have it in the grape.
I don't know.
I don't think they do. I don't think I've seen.
But I know there's a guy on one of the Facebook pages. I've mentioned it to him. I think he just got one. I think from the same eBay seller, funnily enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I seen, he bought like a big 8-ounce tin of it and loads of packets, and absolutely loves the stuff.
Really? Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah. Really? That's like, most people I know who smoke it and think, what the hell is that? You know. But yeah, it's really nice.
Strangest aromatic I had was the Celtic Talisman. The Samuel Gallus stuff. Have you tried it?
No.
Very strange. I had the snuff before I had the tobacco, and the snuff's very interesting. It's like a strange blend of cherry, vanilla, and anise. So it's got that kind of licorice finish to it as well. And the tobacco, nice. It's a very strong aromatic though. So,
nice.
It's nice.
So when you were in Edinburgh, did you ever get to the Leith tobacconists?
No, unfortunately not. No.
I didn't either. I mean, I must have walked past it 100 times on Leith Walk and never once thought to go in.
No.
But next time I'm up Edinburgh, definitely going in.
Yeah, make a point of it, mate.
Oh yeah.
Well, listen, I think it's been over an hour, has it? I will quit the recording anyway. I didn't want to go too much over an hour, so thank you very much. I'll thank you on this, and then I'll come to you after. Thank you very much, Mark, Northeast Piper, for joining us. You've been very, very good fun to talk to.
It's been brilliant. I've enjoyed it.
And
hope to do it again soon.
Good. And you promise you'll join us on the when there's 5 or 6 of us?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you. Speak to you soon. 1 second.
You're welcome. Take care.